My name's Larry Reidnour, and I live in Newport News. My doctor here is Dr. Jeffrey Carlson. Well, it started back in 1997. I was in the grocery store, and I bent down to pick up a gallon of bleach from the bottom shelf, and I got halfway up, and I felt a pop in my back, and I didn't know whether I was going down on the floor or if I was going to be able to stand straight up, but I managed to stand up, check out, and laid on the couch for about 3 days on a heating pad, and that slowly got better over about a week's time, and then I was kind of normal after that. I would drive home from North Carolina back in February literally in tears because the pain hurt so bad. There's no way I could get comfortable in the car. I didn't have a life. I laid on the couch. So there's a lot of things I couldn't do that I chose not to do because I hurt so bad. This is everything. When you hurt, when you wake up in the morning hurting and you go to bed at night hurting, and the only time that you're not hurting is when you're asleep. It drains you emotionally, it makes you depressed. Just simple, ordinary things that you do, like to go out to dinner or do any of that, it's a struggle because and don't let anybody tell you you get used to the pain, because you never do. The pain's there. You might have better days than others. But then, you know, again, I didn't want to get caught in the trap of relying on pain meds as the answer, and so I elected the surgery to fix the problem. Over the last 2 or 3 years, my wife has been going to see Dr. Jeffrey Carlson for her, she had bursitis in her hip, and they would give her injections. A couple times I was leaning up against the desk talking to Dr. Carlson. While he was examining her, I thought to myself, you know, if my back problems ever came back again, I think he's the guy. So when this happened, I made an appointment with Dr. Carlson, and we went in, and he suggested doing an MRI. OSC has an MRI right here on campus, and I went there and had that done and had a follow-up appointment, and he looked at my MRI and says, "Buddy, you got a blown disc again." And I was told my wife on the way up prior to the visit, I just don't want him to tell me fusion, because everything I've read about fusion, everything everybody's told me about fusion, all the horror stories I read on the internet, I don't want that to happen to me. I just want him to say, "I'll take some more disc out, sew me up, and you'll be okay." Well, he said, "You have a blown disc, and here's what we're going to do. We're going to basically take the rest of your disc out, because there's not enough disc left to leave in there. And then we're going to put 4 screws and 2 small rods to stabilize the bones." And that's all I heard. I just looked at her, and I didn't need to hear anything else. But he just looked at me with a confidence and said, "Hey, you've been through this. It'll be 6 weeks, just like your other operations." And I couldn't believe what I was hearing. I'm like, to myself, I'm like, no, what I read on the internet, you know, you're going to be in the hospital for 3 days, and it's going to be 2 to 3 to 4 months before. And he said, no. He says, "You'll be home that night, and in 6 weeks you'll be fine, you'll be better." And he said that with confidence. And I said, okay. So we set the surgery up for April 4th. I came out of surgery, I think within 2 hours after waking up, I was walking. I didn't have that pain, but I had a brace I had to wear, and I had medicine that I had to take, pain medicine. I was on the pain medicine about a week. I've heard stories about that, and I didn't want to get caught in that trap. I tried to get off of it after 4 days, and I knew that now it's not the time. So I was off the pain meds in 7 days. I continued to wear my back brace. I did everything he told me to do, by the book. I did my walking. Walking is the best thing you can do. And by 2 weeks I was sitting at my desk comfortably. 3 weeks I was driving a car again with my brace on. 4 weeks I was walking a mile a day. And by 6 weeks, when the brace came off, I felt great, and I haven't looked back. You know, I play golf. I get up and down on my boat. I walk every day. I live life to the fullest now. You know, there's no pain there that I have to deal with that gets in the way of living a normal life. If you're not sure, then you're not hurting bad enough yet. When you're hurting bad enough, you'll want, because you don't have to live like that. You don't have to live with that pain. So, yeah, that's what I would tell people. You'll know when it's time. I sit here now pain-free, and I owe it all to Dr. Carlson. He's a fabulous, wonderful, knowledgeable doctor with a ton of experience. And so there you go, that's my story.